Your Denver Broncos have finally made a few much-needed changes, and honestly, they couldn't have come at a better time. We're battling for control at the top of the AFC West, and the energy around this team feels electric again. But before we dive deeper, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share it with your fellow Broncos fans. And of course, hit that bell icon so you never miss a moment of Broncos action or breaking news. Now, let's talk about why these changes were so important. For too long, special teams have been one of the weakest links in Denver's game plan. Some might even say that poor special teams play cost us a chance to dominate the AFC West. Remember that questionable leverage call in the game against the Indianapolis Colts? If not for that, the Broncos could easily be sitting at 5-1, right near the top of the entire conference. But even beyond that, the struggles run deep. When Rizzi joined Denver, expectations were sky-high. He's a respected coach, a former interim head coach, and someone known for reviving special teams units across the league. Yet somehow, things have gone the other way. Right now, the Broncos sit dead last in return yards and rank third worst in kickoff yardage allowed. That's not just bad, that's alarming. According to the latest EPA, expected points added, chart, Denver's special teams currently hold the second worst EPA in the entire NFL. Think about that, every time our special teams take the field, we're statistically expected to lose points instead of gain them. Special teams should set the tone, give us field position, momentum, and fire. Instead, we've been getting outplayed, outpaced, and outgained week after week. Now, looking deeper into that chart, it's clear the Broncos had to make a change, and thankfully, they didn't waste any time. To fix that glaring hole on special teams, Denver went out and grabbed an absolute monster in J.T. Gray. Gray, recently on the Ravens practice squad, is now healthy, ready, and perfectly suited for what the Broncos need right now. And let's be real, this isn't just some depth signing. This is a multi-time All-Pro, a player who's been the best at his position, and not years ago, we're talking about as recently as 2024. Gray is known across the league as a special teams beast, a relentless gunner with unmatched energy and precision. With him on the field, there's no chance Denver stays near the bottom in kickoff yardage allowed. This man changes games. Back in 2021, Gray recorded 19 special teams tackles, including 16 solo stops as both a kickoff and punt gunner. Then, in 2024, he took things to another level with 26 special teams tackles, continuing to set the standard for elite effort and execution. And get this, he's the only special teams player in the league to record 10 or more tackles in 4 straight seasons. That level of consistency is rare, almost unheard of. Even better, Gray already has chemistry with Darren Rizzi, who coached him during his time with the New Orleans Saints. Rizzi knows exactly how to get the best out of him, and that connection could be the key to reigniting Denver's special team success. Just watch his highlights, the intensity is unreal. There's a clip against the Philadelphia Eagles where Gray explodes off the line and blocks a punt in a crucial moment. That's what he does, he makes game-changing plays when it matters most. This isn't just a signing. This is a statement. The Broncos are serious about fixing their mistakes and bringing back that relentless, physical edge that defines Denver football. You can see it right away, J.T. Gray is always the first man downfield, a relentless force who never takes a play off. His presence alone changes the energy on special teams, and that's exactly the spark Denver has been missing. But the front office wasn't done. The Broncos decided to keep pushing, determined to strengthen every weakness on this roster. And next up, the offensive line. For most of this season, Denver's offensive line has been among the best in all of football. But in Week 6, things slipped. The performance against top defenses took a noticeable step back, especially with Matt Peart stepping in. Looking at the week's player grades, our tackles still ranked among the best in the league, but the center position clearly regressed. Wattenberg struggled to maintain his earlier consistency, and when you look at guard play, even with Quinn Meinerz performing at a high level, the overall line took a hit. Some analysts are suggesting a possible fix: move Wattenberg to guard and slide Forsyth in at center. That could stabilize both spots, improving chemistry and creating a more balanced interior line. Of course, Sean Payton knows better than anyone that offensive line play is all about timing and chemistry. You can't build that in 1 week, but the coaching staff seems ready to test the waters again next game and see if the adjustments pay off. Meanwhile, Denver didn't just sit around hoping things would improve, they went out and added more muscle. The team signed Carson Barnhart, a former national champion and Big Ten title winner from the University of Michigan. Barnhart isn't just another practice squad pickup, this guy is a physical powerhouse. Coming out of college, he posted one of the highest RAZ scores, relative athletic scores, among offensive linemen, a measure of pure athletic ability that takes into account size, strength, speed, and explosiveness. Simply put, Barnhart is built to compete. He brings toughness, pedigree, and a championship mentality, exactly the kind of player Sean Payton wants in this locker room. When you measure Carson Barnhart's athletic ability, it stands out immediately. Using the Relative Athletic Score (RAZ) system, which compares players at their position all the way back to 1987, Barnhart ranks 101st out of nearly 1,500 guards. That's elite company. In simple terms, this guy is a pure athlete. He's built like a wall, moves like a tight end, and carries the confidence of a champion. In many ways, he reminds me of Frank Crum, another physically gifted lineman who looks like he was built for Sundays in the NFL. It's honestly surprising that Jim Harbaugh let Barnhart go from the Chargers, especially given their struggles protecting the quarterback this season. That move alone makes you wonder if Harbaugh simply didn't have room for him, because talent clearly isn't the issue. At Michigan, Barnhart wasn't just another starter, he was one of Harbaugh's favorites, a player who impressed coaches and teammates with his consistency, toughness, and leadership. Even on a national championship roster stacked with elite linemen, reports from camp called him one of the best overall performers. He wasn't just a standout on the field, he was a glue guy in the locker room, known for his work ethic and accountability. Scouting reports describe him as an athletic, versatile lineman, someone who thrives in zone-run schemes, executes pull blocks smoothly, and can play both guard and tackle when needed. That kind of flexibility is exactly what Denver needs right now. Over his college career, Barnhart made 31 starts for the championship-winning Michigan Wolverines, and he didn't just perform well against weaker teams. His best games came when the pressure was highest, including a 75.5 PFF grade in the Big Ten championship. Across his entire career, he allowed only 46 total pressures, a remarkable 2.4% pressure rate, while facing some of the toughest edge rushers in the country. Simply put, Barnhart is the kind of lineman who brings grit, power, and poise. He's got the pedigree, the numbers, and the heart, everything Denver needs to keep building a stronger front for the battles ahead. Carson Barnhart wasn't just a good college player, he was part of something special. He played on the back-to-back Joe Moore Award-winning offensive line at the University of Michigan, an honor given to the best offensive line in college football. Winning that award twice is no small feat, and it says everything about his work ethic, toughness, and talent. That's exactly why this addition is so exciting. With Frank Crum, Throckmorton, and now Barnhart added to the mix, and with Zach Strief guiding this offensive line, the Broncos are building a foundation you can truly trust. Strief knows how to mold linemen into absolute warriors, and this group has the potential to become one of the league's most dependable units. But let's address the noise surrounding Bo Nix. Lately, it feels like people are jumping off the Broncos bandwagon, calling Bo Nix a bust, saying he's in a sophomore slump. Honestly, it's frustrating to see. There was a post on X, formerly Twitter, from Sleeper Broncos that said it perfectly. Everyone's hyping up Drake May for his performance against the New Orleans Saints, a team sitting at 1-5 and struggling badly this season. Sure, May threw for 261 yards and 3 touchdowns, but look at the context. Meanwhile, Bo Nix went out and threw for 326 yards and 3 touchdowns against the Cincinnati Bengals, a team with more wins and one of the toughest defenses in football, including the NFL's sack leader from last year. Yet the reactions couldn't be more different. When May does it, it's elite. When Bo Nix does it, critics call it a fluke. It's time to stop judging players based on pre-draft hype and start looking at what they're actually doing on the field. And here's the truth, the Broncos are in a great spot right now. 4 of the next 6 games are at home, and confidence inside that locker room is building again. If Bo Nix were truly struggling, the numbers would show it, but the EPA, expected points added, tells a different story. Every time Bo Nix drops back to pass, Denver's EPA per play is plus 0.41, which ranks right up there with the best in the league. Just to put that in perspective, the Chiefs are barely ahead, and Denver's passing efficiency is outperforming several other top offenses, including the Chargers. This isn't a slump, it's a quarterback growing into his moment, leading a young team with poise and determination. And here's something that really stands out, Bo Nix's passing EPA is actually higher than Justin Herbert's. Everyone keeps praising Herbert as one of the league's best, and yes, he's an incredible quarterback, but the numbers don't lie. Bo Nix is producing at a more efficient level when it comes to expected points per pass. That's the kind of stat that tells you this rookie isn't just holding his own, he's excelling. But not everything has been perfect. There's one area where the Broncos desperately need to tighten things up, penalties. Right now, Denver leads the entire league in negative EPA caused by penalties. Every unnecessary flag, every false start, every defensive hold, it's all costing valuable field position and momentum. It's frustrating because the Broncos are often beating themselves. Clean up those penalties, combine that with improved special teams, and suddenly, you're talking about a team that can realistically sit atop the AFC standings. That should get every Broncos fan fired up. Now, there's another challenge on the horizon: travel fatigue. Head coach Sean Payton made the decision to skip the bye week after returning from London, even though the team crossed 7 time zones. That's a brutal turnaround for any roster. History shows how tough this can be. Teams with even a few extra days of rest are winning more often than not. Last week, teams with additional rest went 6-2, and 3 of those wins came from underdogs. Rest matters, especially after a transatlantic trip. This week, the Giants come to town, a team that hasn't played since Thursday night, while the Broncos didn't land back in Denver until early Monday morning. That's a big disadvantage physically. But here's why I'm still confident: Sean Payton knows how to prepare his team. He's one of the best in the business at managing adversity and getting his players focused when the odds aren't in their favor. Looking at the matchup, the Giants' offense has been struggling badly. Their EPA under quarterback Jackson Dart is negative, and most of their production only comes from running back Scatterbo on the ground. That's where Denver's defense can dominate. If the Broncos play disciplined football, minimize penalties, clean up special teams, and stay sharp despite the travel, this is absolutely a game they should win. And if they do, that momentum could be the spark that reignites this team's season. We've already shown we can shut down elite running backs like Breece Hall and Saquon Barkley, so I have zero doubt that Denver's defense can handle Scatterbo as well. Containing him will be the key to beating the Giants, and I trust this defense to do exactly that. We'll dive deeper into that matchup later this week when we bring in a Giants content creator to break it all down, so stay tuned for that. But right now, Broncos Country, let's take a moment to appreciate what this team has built. We just added a special teams All-Pro, bolstered our offensive line depth, and gave ourselves real options for either replacing Matt Peart or giving him the support he needs to bounce back. Everything is starting to come together. I'm still wildly optimistic about this team. The Denver Broncos currently hold over a 70% chance to make the playoffs, and once they're in, nobody's going to want to face them. Not with this defense. Not with this energy. We've seen Bo Nix grow stronger and more confident as the season progresses, just like he did last year. There's no reason to doubt that same evolution will continue right here in Broncos country. So don't jump off the bandwagon now. Stay loud. Stay loyal. Because this team, our team, is building something special. Broncos country, let's ride this wave together.